So, okay, and then we bring him back to the chair, and I go in, and I give her Victoria Beckham, or let's say I give her Kate +8. Ooh. The may I speak to your manager haircut, right? Everybody seen that meme? I love that, that's so fun. No, but, and she wanted a nice, long, classic bob. But what did I do? Well, what do you want, a haircut? Oh, short in the front, or short in the back, long in the front? All right. That's it. That's what I gave you. What's your problem? Do you guys see where I'm going with this? It's not even, you know, discussing elevation, but they don't really get that too much. But what they do get is this. So talk to me about your limitations inside of your bob today. I mean, what are some things you definitely don't want to see happen with this bob?
Unevenness.
Okay.
Don't want to see that.
Okay, unevenness. Talk to me about your length limitations. Is there something that you'd like to see happen today?
Oh, definitely want to get the dead ends off.
Okay, fantastic. So, with that being said, wanting to maintain a longer shape, which I know is one of your goals, okay? Wanting to clean up the integrity of the hair, which I know is another one of your goals today. I would recommend, turn your head to the side for me, please. I would really recommend bringing it up about this much off the bottom so that I can really get a clean, strong shape in there. It's still going to rest around the shoulder area, so you're still going to get that feeling of length. You're still going to be able to pull it back if you like. But this way, we're giving you symmetry and balance because we're going to give you an even bob. We're giving you integrity back to the hair because we can see the ends are just getting thirsty. And we're going to talk about what we can do to help avoid that from happening over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Okay? And then from there, I would like to see just a little bit of a soft bevel on the bottom. Now talk to me about your blow drying. Do you use a round brush or a flat iron? Round brush? Do you iron your hair at all?
Sometimes, yes.
Do you use a curling iron or flat iron?
I would say like half the week I iron it, half the week I round blow dry it.
Okay.
Roughly.
Okay. So what I like about your routines is that if I create something that's going to give you a little tuck in, a little bevel on the underneath, when you go through with your round brush and set your roll in, it's just going to enhance that movement even more. It's going to give you that fall forward and that little bit of tuck under that I think is just going to be beautiful. Does that sound good? Do we see where we're going with this, guys?
Yeah.
Any questions on that process?
I couldn't hear you.
Ha! I wish I had a microphone. I thought they were supposed to come equipped in here with mics, but let me just bring it out a little louder. Because we need to be a camp counselor for YMCA camp. One of my jobs was I had to wake up the camp in the morning. So, really moving through the consultation, asking her the right questions about her routines, about the tools she uses at home, about some of the some of the concerns she might have regarding the haircut, whether it be symmetry, whether it be length selection, whether it be health of the hair, all of these things, really just kind of investigating into what's going to work for her, but also as a professional, which, come on, we are professionals. They're coming to us for a reason. That doesn't mean I'm the end-all be-all. No, we're in a service industry. This is a very tricky line here. But what this does mean is that I have been trained to understand certain elements of design, texture, suitability, We've all been trained in this, and we have input that we can offer based off of what they say to us. So if we don't find out enough about what they're saying, whose fault is that? Us. That falls directly on us. I'm going to have you stand for me. We're going to actually begin in the back here. There we are. Go ahead and have a seat. We're going to begin this haircut today by establishing our perimeter in the back. I am going to be using just a little bit of moisture, not a whole lot. Mostly my moisture is going to be coming from my top section, the underneath section. I'm not going to have as much moisture inside of there because here's the deal. I'm going to put in my perimeter a little bit more on the drier side so I know that's where it's going to stay. I'm going to move into my graduation. As I work above the occipital bone, I'm going to move through that slightly down. So that way, when I pull with the tension through my graduation technique, as it dries, it's going to bevel that much more because the water is going to allow it to shrink. So we're going to be executing a little bit of a dry perimeter to give us the consistency, and then we're going to be executing a little bit of a wet graduation to give us a little bit more stretch and a little bit more recoil whenever the hair settles, to really set in a nice, beautiful, bumpy bulb on the back. Now, you know, if you talk with an accent when you cut a bulb or you cut any hair, you can actually make more money. Right? You know that, right? If you've got an accent, you're making way more money than me. Okay, so let's pre-section out this. Anybody use chopsticks? You guys use these bad boys? I love it. Come on, I mean, we've combed for years. Can't we have a little fun? Like, I'm not combing out the section, I'm just sectioning. This is like a pencil. I can draw so much cleaner with this thing. It's fun, it's interesting, and it inspires dialogue with your guests.
Oh, wow.
See?
Are those real chopsticks?
They are. You know, I went to a Japanese restaurant in my area, and he left all his chopsticks out on a table and a little thingy, like a little, you know, chopstick holder, and I just borrowed them. Permanently borrowed. I borrowed them. But I brought back plastic ones a week later because I felt bad. I replaced them, but I kept them.
What is your area, Chad? Where are you?
I am located in Visalia, California. Anybody heard of that?
Yes.
What?
It's up by
All right.
Where is it?
I'm in Visalia.
Visalia? Oh, yes. Yeah.
What's that?
Where are you at?
I'm currently working, I guess, anybody in here from my salon? Anybody in here that knows the owner of my salon? I'm currently working at California Looks Salon in Visalia off of Corte and Caldwell. I'm going to be moving in June to open up my own studio space. And here's the kick, you guys. I'm opening up a salon, 3,000 square foot. I'm only putting 8 chairs in there. What am I going to do with all that extra space, do you think? Damn right.
Do what?
Education. I'm going to be opening up an advanced training facility for the Central Valley. Unless you get to Adam Federico in Sacramento or Sassoon Academy in Santa Monica, there's nothing there. And I love what Adam's doing, and I love what Sassoon's doing. So we need somewhere to play in the Central Valley that also can help us take advantage of cost of living in the Central Valley that's really next to nothing, which means I don't have to charge as much money for my classes because it's so easy to make a living and live and survive there. I lived in LA for like 5 years in my studio apartment for $1,600, and now I have... You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, guys. I'm living in a big 3-bedroom, 2-bath, hot tub, indoor patio. It's like $1,000. Backyard, garage, like it's insane. Anyway, so here as well. I'm going to be offering that, but you know, I also offer in-salon education. And on my pricing, or inside of those folders that you guys got, you're going to see a price list of my classes. Now, mind you, my goal is to make education affordable. I don't want to charge everybody an arm and a leg to learn. I really just love to do it. So, when you book group rates with education with Chad Clark Hair, you get an opportunity to bring me in your salon. Now, all I ask for is you fly me to wherever I need to go. If I need to fly, if I have to drive, make sure you reimburse me for my gas and get me a hotel, and I'm happy. And I don't care where you put me up. You want to put me up on your couch? I'm easy. You got a guest room? Whatever. I'll come hang out. I'll cook you dinner. I roll some mean sushi. But for real, it's like...
Will you take off your beanie?
Who said that? Who said that? Wow, that is like, you know what? I mean, thinking about all this, like, never. Dawn, ever? No. Do I ever take it off?
No.
Never.
Do I just live in this thing? How many of you have been following me on social media for like more than 5 years? You ever seen me?
Never.
Right?
Never.
Never. This is me. I wasn't blessed. I wasn't blessed. I basically through the hair that I create. I remember when I was a Cosmos student, I was at the Sassoon Academy, and DJ Muldoon was my cosmetology school instructor. Awesome that was. And he was giving me a scissor over comb haircut, and I'll never forget him just being like, "Oh man, you gotta shave it off, man." He's like, I mean, I can fade it a little bit for you, but what do you want me to do? So, my hair journey. Anyways, so moving forward. Thank you, that was fun. Letting the hair live in its dry stage. Hasn't really been ironed, hasn't really been prepped, it's just had a little moisture comb through it. I'm going to start in by bringing down my elevation with my comb. Pre-selecting out visually first about where I want to see my line hit. Can everybody see me?
We can see
How about there? Oh, heck yeah. See, that's why we did this. Ah, there we go. Do you like that stance? Okay, so getting right down in the center here, I'm going to tap out my tension. You know what, let's do this old school style.
Oh, yeah.
I like this a lot more, I'm not going to lie. This is how they used to do it.
Did you ask her to put her head slightly forward?
I pushed it slightly forward.
Whatever.
Right? So pushing down ever so slightly, bringing it down onto the skin. Now because I'm pushing it down onto the skin with a little bit of tension, am I getting any bevel on those ends? So am I getting some subtle graduation in there?
Yes.
I am, huh? That's right. See, we've got to start, here's the thing. What I like to talk about in haircutting, when I teach haircutting, is my whole goal for everybody is just simplification. Simplification. We do 4 things. That's it. That's it. That's all we do. We leave hair long. We make it shorter. We make it lighter. We make it heavier. That's it. Those things are controlled with sections, elevation, and over direction, and tension. That's it. That's all we do. You're cutting iron, cut it. Simple. We can start controlling and shaping our work a lot more when we just understand that that's all we do. That's it. There's nothing else. Everything else is just creative placement and recreation. That's it. So, slightly forward again, pushing down gently, coming around the bottom. Now do you notice I'm going from inside to outside? Why?
Short to long.
I heard it. Say it again.
Short to long.
It's pushing the hair, right? How is it pushing the hair? What's pushing the hair? The tips of my shears do, don't they? Check my balance. Go across the back one more time. Tilt her forward a little more so I can really get into my line underneath there.
Can you go over what shears you're using and what size they are?
Absolutely. So these shears right here are some of my favorite scissors in the world. I got this, my very first pair of this model as a cosmetology student at the Sassoon Academy. They were a limited edition kukui model, 5 inches long, small. Some of you may have seen these re-released this year on hairbrain.me Pro Shop. My first pair I owned for 12 years. I never cut with another scissor. No thinning shears, no razors. I had 1 pair of scissors for 12 years. And then they were done. Gerard and Randy knew how big of a fan I was of these, and they sent me a new pair, and I've been using these again ever since. I love these ones so much that, obviously, when I got my tattoo, of course, I had to get my Sassoon shears tattooed on. So you can get these from the Hairbrain Pro Shop, and what's nice about these is they're only about they're in the 300 price point. They're not excessively expensive. I mean, you go to something like this where you're working with a Mizutani shear and you're paying $1,600, $1,400 for steel light, and I like these better. I'm sorry, I do. You know. And then some nice. I'm going to use these for some detailing today. These are the Kingly Scepter from the Kingly Hair Group. My good buddy Mike Varela, he was the director of the Sassoon Academy in Miami. We did our Vardering staff training together at the Santa Monica Academy. These are his shears, and I love them to death for precision work. They're matte finish, Japanese cobalt steel, and when you're really working those really fine refinements and precision shapes, you can't beat these. Thank you for asking that.
And those are all done on wet and dry hair?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so yes.
Do you use clippers at all?
I sure do. I only use clippers on the necklines. I do all scissor over comb, shear fades. I do the barber work. I do the hard partings with the hard lines and all that fun, like creative fun work, and I do all of it with scissors and combs.
Chad.
Yes, sir.
I gotta run, man.
Albie, Thank you for coming in, man. Let's get Albie and Belkay a round of applause for this, guys. Our legends now. Thank you so much. So, we're going to move into the graduation now, okay? Is everybody bearing with me? Are we cool in our time? I mean, are you guys all right? Are we good? Yeah. You guys enjoying this? Yeah. All right. So, now we're going to introduce a little bit of moisture. Just a little bit. A couple spritzes. My guide now is coming from the underneath. If you do have to go, I will not take it personally. I do understand there's other things happening, but the more of you that stay here and watch this, the more happy I am. So, tilting her slightly forward. I'm going to take this first section now. I'm going to put a little bit more tension on it. Elevation is going to be nice and low. I'm trying to bring it to the section that lives right underneath my occipital bone, dropping out enough perimeter to ensure that it's strong. Okay? Dropping out enough of that perimeter to ensure that the perimeter stays strong. So bringing everything down. Body positioning is awkward, but I want everybody to see. This is going to be my first cut, putting some nice strong tension inside of my fingers. So we're going to start building that nice bevel on this underneath. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. So I'm going to go back and forth so everybody's going to get an opportunity to see what's going on. Please, if you would like to stand up, if you would like to come closer, do what you like. I do not mind. This is an open environment. I'm not one of those stuffy ones that's going to be like, oh, you need to sit down.
Are you cutting it to your guide? Or are you cutting it below?
Say that again?
Are you cutting it, you're pulling some of your guide up, right?
I'm pulling some of my guide up from the underneath. Here's what I'm doing. I'm taking a section out and I'm looking for strength and perimeter just to ensure that I see a nice clean perimeter full on the bottom of that shape. Now, I'm going to bring everything down to that point. Elevation down, cutting my line.
But you're cutting it to your guide.
That's right. Bringing it down to my guide. Absolutely.
Chad, do you typically work side to side like this?
Yep.
Me too.
I really do.
I do.
I mean, there are times when I'm being a little more creative,
Some
where
people
I will
do
work
all-
one side complete and then complete and match the other side. I will do that occasionally. But for the most part, symmetry and balance is way too important for me to want to risk having to go back through it and cut it twice. Okay? Tomorrow, by the way, I'm doing a completely different bob haircut. Completely different model, different length, different everything. So now, taking my section from underneath that I previously cut, you're very welcome. Bringing everything down to my elevation where I can see a nice clean guide underneath. Cutting through.
Class you tomorrow at the same time?
So it's classroom 103. Right, Howie? Howie? Is Howie here?
What do we need?
Looks like Howie's gone. He keeps disappearing.
What do we need?
Classroom time, our classroom tomorrow, I think it's 103. This is A, right? 102A?
This is 202.
202A, I mean. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 103C.
C from 2 to 3:30.
There we go. Thank you. We're bringing everything down to the consistent elevation. And also, I'm kind of making sure it checks over into the other side. Just taking a little bit so I ensure that there's balance in there. And already, I'm starting to get that nice little bump under with the shape. Now the top, we're going to take this in last. Mind you, this is going to be pretty quick from here on out. And I understand we're moving through the times. I'm going to go ahead and leave. After we finish the bob haircut demo, I'm going to stick around here and hang out. If anybody would like to come and talk to me about any of the mannequins or has any questions about them, we can field the questions that way. I don't want to keep you guys in here too long after this. So we'll handle it that way, so that way we can kind of keep remotely try and keep on some sort of schedule.
Do you have any more handouts out available?
And if you need a handout, we have folders in the back over there on that table next to the gentleman with the beard. Hello, hello. Yes, you can get a folder. The folders have my pricing information. They have a brochure for the show to take home. of what you learned and what we went over today in the classroom. We've also got some stickers, my business card. Best way to reach me is via email. My email is really the quickest way to reach me. And realistically, you guys, you know, I came here today because I wanted to show you guys some haircuts. I wanted to talk about Bob. And I was hoping that maybe after we were all finished, somebody in this room would be excited enough about what they saw today to want to have me come in and share with your salon team. That's what I'm
Do
really
you like Santa Cruz?
I'll come anywhere. You know, this last month I was in Frank Gambuza's salon over in Knoxville, Tennessee, sharing insights with Frank and his team members. I'll be down here in LA at Ginger Boyle's salon in May. Britton Lee's spot. I'm going to be doing some education over there for him and his staff. And a couple other places. You know, the Viva Beauty Academy out here in what is that? Like northeast Los Angeles. They're going to be bringing me out for a couple of weeks. There's just a lot happening, and honestly, I'd love to fit you guys, your team into it too. I'd like to be part of it. That's what I'm for.
So Chad, do you like to use the wide part of your comb for all of this?
I sure do. I really rely a lot nowadays on the tension in my fingers more than I do the tension in my comb. The only time I really seem to pull out my cesspon anymore is scissor over comb work. And it's just a feeling in my fingers at this point. You know, I rely so much on what that thread feels like as it's moving through. Yeah. Notice these sections are now moving into the front. Diagonal. Okay. Over directing everything now much lower now. I'm pulling everything back that lives in behind the ear and low. And then as I move forward, my angle, turn your head this way, there you go. My angle is now going to be tapped over the ear. Beautiful. Last section, I'll let it fall naturally again. Working it over the top of the ear. Little taparoo there, just to ensure.
You only overtook it behind the ear?
That's it. Just behind that ear. Everywhere else, I like natural fall. It really helps me create a stronger form, linear form on the outside of the cut.
What's the name of the single day you will be able to sign?
When I'm going to be down in LA, I'll be at Planet Salon. That'll be in Melrose, like off Melrose. Planet Salon. I'll be right there. Okay, let's complete the opposite side and take down the top. Sound good? Yeah! Yeah! You guys, this is like the best time I think I've ever had. Taking the time to come in here and watch me cut some hair. I hope, you know what I really hope? I hope I brought something a little different to what you're used to.
Yeah.
That's what I really hope. I hope I brought something different, something refreshing, something maybe a little more honest. I don't know, something a little bit more, I don't want to say outside the box, but I mean just not what you're used to, you know. And I hope this kind of gives you some faith in the people that want to share with you and want to be a part of your journey. That, you know what, I honestly believe, I mean, we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to get to the exact same place together. And the more we can come together and share in times like these and celebrate each other's passions and drive, you know, for education, the stronger we're going to make our industry. The stronger we're going to make this business together.
Discover and create.
So before, you know, as whoever decides to stick around until this is all done, I would love to get a big group shot of everybody in the audience. I have Howie, I don't know where Howie went, but Howie
He's like, done.
yeah, I think Howie's tapped out today. I've been working him hard, so.
Can I go left and ask about the coif?
What's that?
Can I go left and ask about the coif?
Oh, I'd love to talk about our little coif. So the coif finishing iron. Garrett, just grab one, and maybe we can show it. I think they're on the other, or it's right there on the stage. Yeah. Come up here, Garrett. Don't be shy. Garrett's been on one of my independent hair teams called Hairband for a few years now. Before that, He was with me on another independent project called OC Network Productions when I really had the first idea of creating a non-denominational independent hair artistry education team. Garrett came on board as my blonding specialist, has since moved out to Arizona. We still work together on the trade shows and is now working inside of the Aveda. Well, he was working with the Aveda schools, right?
Yeah.
And now you're working behind the chair and working with the Tori Honto.
Yeah.
Slaying it. Slaying it. So the coif finishing iron, you know, this is a, just stand up really quick.
Here.
So, I'll say this, I don't have a mirror in front of me and I'm quite happy with that start of the balance.
Yeah.
I like that. That's working for me. Okay? Very good. So the coif finishing iron, is a new invention. And I say new invention because it's a finishing iron. We're like, oh yeah, it's got leopard spots on it. It's got some bling on it, or does it light up? No. This has been designed with you and your guest in mind. The iron is designed with a 30-degree angle on the offset of the tool. So this 30-degree angle allows you as a hairdresser to get closer to your client's roots without putting a crease in it. It allows you to smooth hair with a bevel. It allows you to create the beautiful barrel curl. You can also create Marcel style curl. It is a very multifaceted use tool of an iron. And there's nothing else like it. We've got it patented. It's ceramic, it's ionic, it's got everything that you expect. It's got a heat control, temperature setting so you can choose the actual temperature that you want. It's got everything you want. And it's got a 2-year extended warranty. And for salon owners that want to get in on this with us, we're giving you a 90-day buyback. If it doesn't sell, if you don't sell 50% of your inventory within the first 90 days, we're going to buy it back because we're so confident because everybody that's gotten on board with us has moved with these irons. What's that?
Cost.
Salon retail cost is $189, which is pretty comparable to what's the other high-end irons out there, maybe even a little under. And cost to you as a salon owner is $80. So there's a really nice profit margin on there. It almost leaves you enough room. The goal here is to leave enough room for the salon owner to put $20 in the pocket of the hairdresser selling the iron and still be able to buy a new iron. And put 20, you know what I'm saying? It's designed in that manner. We give complimentary education when you buy a case of 12, free, just like back in the old days. You know what I mean? You buy 12 irons, I'm going to come to your salon. It doesn't cost you or your team a penny. So I'm going to come out there and spend a day with you, teach your staff effective dialogue for selling, teach you some iron tricks, do a haircut for you, and just make sure you're successful.
Is any of that information in our
It is.
folder?
It sure is. And if it's not and you want any of it, my card is in there. Email me. Everybody just Chad Clark Hair. Say it. Chad Clark Hair. And that could be Gmail. That could be Yahoo. You could Google search it. You could Facebook it. You could Instagram it. You use those 3 words, you're going to find me somewhere. Okay? Put a lot of time into that damn SEO thing. All right. So dropping the top down over the shape. I'm going to simplify the process. We're going to pretty much just take it in sections 1, mastoid 2, side panel 3. Mastoid 1, mastoid 2, side panel 3. We're going to do that all the way around the shape. Simplified. Because now everything's about that umbrella, the roof, beveling over the top. I need a little bit of pull, I need a little bit of tension. I'm going to push her forward. I pull and push and push and pull. Sometimes I'm just waiting for them to throw an elbow at me. I'm going to put a nice little bit of tension in there. I'm going to find my guide underneath. And I'm going to cut my line with a nice strong tension. So when that falls, that's ultimately going to bevel right over the top of that. Okay?
You're cutting to your line or past your line?
Right to my line with strong tension. Right to it. Okay?
Down.
What's that?
Dry, down.
Down. I want a little moisture in there so that way I can make sure to get a little more stretch. Because that little stretch is going to help me.
With your recoil.
Right. So everything's stretching back. Okay? There we are. Now let's work the side in. And I think we're pretty much done here. We're going to push through a quick blow dry. You guys want to see me blow dry it? Yeah. You guys want to see how I wrap, dry, and iron real quick?
Yeah.
love you guys. You guys want to hang out with me.
Yeah.
I love this. It was a 4-hour drive. It's not bad, but I hear you guys making me feel all special.
What was that thing you said before? There's only 4 or 5 things that we do.
4 things we do with hair. 4 things. 4 things. We keep it long.
Long,
We take it short.
short,
1 length families.
one side.
Right? That's 1 length family. Long or short. Long or short. Don't care if it's here, 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 here. Right? Then, so that's 2. Then we make hair lighter, or we make hair heavier. And that's graduation and layer. And that's all done from picking it up. The more you pick it up, the lighter it gets. The lower you hold it when you pick it up, the heavier it gets. That's it. All we do.
Earlier too, you talked about what we do to the hair will change our haircut. You said sectioning, elevation, tension.
Over direction. Almost nailed all of those. I love that. Okay, so now I'm taking these last sections. I'm cutting them in my finger, so that way I get just a little bevel to help encourage that little roll under in the front.
Thank you, Chad.
You're so very welcome. Okay. Bring her up. That's my bob. That's the wet bob. I mean, that's that. Let's give her a turn around.